Mine is upstairs. It's a little crooked over there. That camera. I'm a perfectionist. Nothing wrong with that. That works. Hey, everybody. Hey.
Hey.
Conversations overheard.
Yes.
Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat. You know I'm mad because this camera's crooked.
Oh, it's okay.
That's all right. The one in the middle.
Yeah, Gary can straighten it out a little bit.
There we go.
How we doing, people? How we doing, ladies?
We are doing.
I am good. I cannot believe it is Tuesday already. It was just Sunday, but that's life.
I mean, I get excited every week. I do. I really do.
To see us.
That too. But I'm super excited about this topic because this is something that needs to be said.
It does.
A conversation that needs to be had.
It does. So let's talk about the video that we saw. Okay, so there's a video circulating around social media, and it is of some lightweight celebrities, but it's mainly people who are dining at a restaurant. It's a group of people. It is
primarily women
and one man, and there's a birthday girl. So when it's time to pay the check, there is kind of like a brouhaha on who's responsible for the check. Is it the man because he's the man and he's expected to pay? Or, well, obviously everybody was in agreement that the birthday girl owes nothing. But some of the women, and let me just say, the man was married and was there with his wife.
I think it was all of the women except the wife, not just some.
What do you mean? It was all of the women except for the wife. He was there with his wife.
Yeah. All of the women were in agreement.
No, I'm just stating that the man was married and he was there with his wife. So let me just state that. But the women were in agreement that, except for his wife, that he should pay. So,
yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'm sure this is very near and dear to your heart, considering that you're a man and have many women friends. But
I mean, it's not even just gender based with me. I mean, I've been in situations where, people have just like, man, I'm not gonna pay, or I don't feel I should have to pay.
Now, were they women?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a whole nother topic that we'll get to. Of just common courtesy of I know you only had a salad, so I'm not.
Why did they feel like why did one woman say that I'm not going to pay? Because there was a man present, or?
I mean, I really can't specifically answer what their motivation was.
Okay.
But they felt like they didn't have to pay, or they shouldn't.
Because one of the women in the video said, "I'm not paying."
Yeah.
And
she actually got up to leave.
Yeah.
And was walking,
she was
exiting
like,
the restaurant.
I'm not paying. She was so set on that.
So what I found peculiar about the video was that the man was like, I'm paying for the birthday girl and my wife and my family. It was a baby there also, by the way. But he was like, I'm paying for my family and of course the birthday girl. And the other lady said, you invited us. He was like, I didn't invite y'all. And then she was like, well, you participated. Well, you showed up. You know what I mean? So just
you're existing.
You're here. You're breathing, right? So I just felt like, so any man that comes, it is now his responsibility to take on everybody's check. I'm a mother of a son, so I guess I feel a different kind of way.
Let me say this. Growing up, my dad always told me never, ever, ever sit at a table where you are not totally prepared to pay for everyone.
Okay.
And, I took a lot of that into my life. And, I mean, there were times when, life was really good. And, it was almost like I wanted to, like, hey, I got this.
I got it.
Hey, but you know what? Man, we was eating at, like, Applebee's and stuff. I could afford Applebee's. Now we going places and, we talking about comma bills. And man, y'all eat and drink like I do. So
exactly.
Man, I mean, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And it's it's to the point with me where I don't even go to dinner with separate people. And I think it's kind of tacky where everybody has a separate bill. A lot of places now are like, no, we gonna do one bill and y'all gonna figure it out or run whatever comes first. So.
But you brought up something that for at least for us, I know isn't an issue. So we don't drink, right? Mm-hmm. And we are all for let's split the bill. Mm-hmm. But if we're out with a big group of people, and everyone is drinking but us, typically the drinking tab is going to be much more than the food tab.
Oh my goodness.
So people are throwing them back. And again, I'm all for let's split the bill, but me nor Kim want to pay for everybody's
Alcohol.
for
Libations.
drinks. Right.
Yeah.
For the night.
And there's a situation, and I don't know if it's because people think that I'm good at math or, I look sort of mathy. I'll end up working
because you're always saying things like, let's do the numbers. And, yeah.
Fingers, right?
So, I mean, I always kind of end up, working the numbers out. Hey, this is what it is, It's, the bill's $750. There are 5 of us. It's $163.40 a piece. I know this.
Okay.
So within that, people are, I'm always that person. But if I'm somewhere and I know that you all don't drink, and I know that man, my drinks are gonna probably cost $30 to $35 a piece, just about anywhere we go.
Right.
So I know that I'm putting in like an extra 100. Mm-hmm. And it's always humiliating for me because I'll be somewhere and there'll be people like you, and I'm like, hey, why don't you all just put in 120, mm-hmm. and I'm gonna put in an extra 100, so I know that I got the extra 40 for both of y'all. And then it's like, man, we still short, and somebody, it's always a couple people, and I just have to stop eating with them. We can't break bread. We cannot.
You already know what to expect with those people, though.
I know what to expect not to go. I'm not going.
So therefore, you, like you said, you just stop. You know that you don't go. Yeah. I've been in that situation too.
Yeah, no, I'm good, and I think it's just kind of, we too old. We got AARP cards. Why are we splitting the bill 8 different ways?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be that one person who's like, oh, I'll Zelle you tomorrow. Well, what is it again? And then,
That's fine too. Lie to me. I deserve. When you look at me, don't I deserve to be lied to? Should not be tricked. Trick me. I'm all in for that. But don't play me. Don't be sitting there like, oh, I put my money in. No, you didn't. I know who put their money in and who didn't.
Right.
Another thing on that video, going back to that, they asked the girl, the wife, they were like, you just gonna let him, not pay?
Like, get your husband.
And she was like, when you all get a husband,
check.
But he is not responsible for all of you all. And so when you think about it, if you have a couple, whether they're married or cohabitating or just whatever they're doing together, she's actually paying as well because their money is together. You know what I mean? So she's like, wait a minute now. Why am I paying for all of you all? And that's what you have to think about as well. Just because one guy who belongs to somebody, in some relationship, doesn't mean that you get to, put all the weight on him. He doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting.
I agree. It is not his responsibility.
And,
if the man volunteers to pay and he
that's
says,
a whole
I
nother
got
animal.
this, then that's one thing. And if he has said, hey, I'm having this party for my wife and her friend, then it's a 50-50 chance that he might say, okay, well, you guys just put in the tip. I mean, it could be something like that. But if he says, I'm doing this, then I would expect that he is also paying. But if not, I wouldn't expect if it was 10 of us and I'm going out with you and your man that he is like going to foot the bill for everybody. That's not fair.
Right.
So,
and again, if they do, then it's a win for you, right? But don't expect that.
But 2 things about that. I mean, even still, as much as I might cry about it, a lot of times I'm out and I'm like, don't worry about it. I got it. And that's just what I do. But as a man, it's kind of sexy when a woman is like, I got you. And not sexy like, I'm dating you. Just a friend could be like.
Yeah, but you also like women who fight over you. So, I don't know. who fight for you
Physically.
physically. You all
Carry
yeah.
stuff. Right, right, right.
What's wrong with that? We in this together, girl. You
like
ain't
all
friends.
that
We gonna be in
shenanigans.
this.
So I don't know. You lost a couple of brownie points with.
Nah,
with
but
that.
I mean, seriously, as a man, it is sexy. You know, when a woman's like, "No, we got you." And I mean, all my friends are, pretty professional and, have good jobs and make good money. So every once in a while, I want them to be like, no, put your little money away.
I think it's quite okay for a man to feel like every now and again I want for my woman to show me, she's appreciative and she can do something for me. That is just, do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's quite all right, and I don't think that it should be a thing. I do feel like it's a thing though if you just always expect for the man to do something.
Just because he's the man.
Just because.
And
yeah.
I have been in that situation
Because then that makes you a taker.
where, man, I've had people that were, that had snuck into my inner circle. And they were, they weren't, we weren't dating, but they were peripheral to everybody else.
Okay.
And so, man, they caught me on a couple good times. And I got that, put your little money away. Mm-hmm. And then
Are these men or women?
These are women.
Women.
Oh, okay.
No, with dudes, we having a conversation. Hey, bruh, man, I'm gonna need you to step up.
Well, and with guys, and sometimes it's I've seen the situation where one guy that like the guy that I'm with will pay for everybody, and he's expecting like the next time we congregate, then the other guy will pay for it.
Right.
And that's totally fair. That's a totally fair expectation.
But then that may not happen because you're expecting something. You may quite.
Actually, it didn't happen. And
Right, you may be
the guy that I
disappointed.
knew who paid for everybody. We were on a double date. He was just kind of like, huh.
The other guy was just like, okay, you got it. Thanks, ma'am. Right.
But
Yeah, so.
But I was kind of, and I'll name names here, but I was in a situation with Didi. Mm-hmm. And so we would go out, and I love Didi. Didi is my little sister, so it was always like, hey, I got you, whatever. And Didi was like, no, you can't always, we got you, or I got you, or don't you always feel like you have to do that. And that was just really cool. That let me know that you appreciate it.
And there's reciprocity in this relationship, in this friendship, in this brother-sister.
Yeah. And so, but it's, but then there are also, like I said, there are people that just kind of hang out and they always looking for the hookup. They're never going to do anything.
Yeah.
There's a person here in Chicago, and she's a pretty well-known and very financially secure person. Mm-hmm. And man, she will leave you with a bill like nobody's business.
Because she drinks a lot?
She's just a slick person.
She's just, a taker. Just a taker.
And there are some people like that. I know someone that I said I would never dine with because not only is she a drinker, which is cool, it's fine if you want to pay for it, but she's the person who wants to order a meal to go. So, yeah. So she's eating a meal, and then she wants to order a meal to go.
She's down there dining and dashing.
Yeah. And so, and I've... It's fine.
So the bill hasn't come.
Go.
Yeah, but leave your money on the table.
You have to pay for that.
Right.
You can't expect us to pay for your post meal.
Yeah,
that's insane. But she would.
Oh, I see what I didn't get it at first.
No.
She's dining with you all.
Yes.
But she's like, can I order
the burger? Another burger to go, please.
And then that's part of your bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
oh wow.
But also, there's something that has to be. I talked about the whole drinking part. Dude, if you or lady, if you're sitting there and you're drinking $30, $40 drinks and you had 3 of them, you know that it's different than somebody who just had salad.
Man, let me tell you something.
And water.
I had been in a situation where I was at a trendy location and we were invited. I was invited. It was a bunch of women. We were invited to this trendy brunch. It was bottomless mimosas. Well, the mimosas come in, with the lunch. The brunch. So I think I expected to pay no more than like $70 or whatever. Everybody had to pay like $150 because people were ordering alcohol outside of the mimosas. And so I was sitting there thinking like, when I was watching people order all these drinks, I was thinking, And normally I would say, well, I only had that, but I was just like, this is in my
The learning
in my,
lesson.
yeah, in my
Yeah.
mind. Like I remember Steve Harvey saying one time, sometimes the best lessons you learn are the ones that you've paid for.
Yeah, the boat lessons.
Yeah. So I just thought, okay, Kim, note to self, just this can't happen to you again. So I paid the money, and I was just like, and I've never gone out with them anymore.
Yeah.
I was out with a group of friends,
See
and
that.
there were men and women. And so, man, it was like this person was like, well, I'm not going to really get anything. And then one of the guys, it wasn't even me, one of the guys was like, you know what, man, I got everybody. And the person who was, like, man, I'm just going to get a salad was like, damn, I could have ate. And I get it. I know that, you might not always have it. But that's a conversation that we need to have beforehand. And I don't need you to lose your dignity. Oh, please, please, please. But I need you to say, hey, Gary, you know what, man? And more than likely, I'm like, hey, come on, Kim. Come on, Janeko. I got you. Don't even worry about it. Mm-hmm. No big thing. But, I've seen people sit there and just not order anything. And, people do the math. The bill is $800. It's 8 people, $100 a piece. I don't care that you had salad. So I've seen it both ways. I've seen it to where, the person really wasn't able to be there, but they wanted to support. And I get that. But it's tough sometimes.
It is tough. I remember being out, and this is like years ago when we were young, like early 20s. First job out of college, but a big group of us had gone to Toronto, Japan. And when the bill came out, I mean, literally, people had their calculators out, and does yours have the percent sign? Let me see. Mine doesn't, right? And I was just sitting there thinking, like, why did you all even come out? Like, if you can't afford to do the dining experience, the tip, just be like, I'll catch you next week. Let's push this back. I don't want to go.
Everybody's
out.
been in a situation where your money is funny. You're like,
you just don't go.
I'm gonna have to pass on this evening because
there'll be another day.
This is a stay-at-home night for me.
But my
popcorn night.
Yeah, they used to call it Blockbuster. It's a Blockbuster night.
But my
That's old
my
school.
cutoff game is strong. I mean, I don't. Once you can do me like that one time, and we're done.
Do you like what?
You can either play games with the bill or pull a calculator out or ask for separate checks. And I'm never dining with you again. Mm-hmm. I'm never, ever, ever. And I mean, my inner circle of guys, and I have quite a few actually, but all of them, we're always fighting to pay the check.
No, man, I said I got it.
Right. Or man, I mean, people's game is strong. Somebody will sneak off. I gotta go to the bathroom
and get a
you look
card.
up,
Pay it.
and right then you're like you ask the waiter like, well, hey, the server, let me say, and you ask the server like, well, where's the check? Oh, your friend over there, Daddy Warbucks, took care of it. So it's almost like a game to us.
Yeah.
And, and that's the kind of people that I want to be around. And I don't want to turn my back on somebody that's not financially there. I'm the first person that, if you let me know, I'm like, hey, I got you. I don't want you to lose your dignity. You don't have to, please, Mr. Gary, if you could just give me a scrap, anything. I'm not that dude. Right. I got you. We good.
So going back to the video. Mm-hmm. If that were you, well, not even if that, it could be you or a friend. Do you feel like he should have just been like, give me the bill? All right.
I can't speak for him because I think that he did what he was supposed to do. I can speak for me. As for me in that situation, I would have paid the bill and I would have cut all of them heifers off.
Yeah.
We can't even have communion.
I didn't like the way they talked to him. Like, you the man. Like, you not a man if you aren't going to pay this bill. That was kind of messed up.
There seemed like there was a little bit of entitlement on their part. Like, they might have been getting that. And I mean, I was looking at them and some of them might have been living a little bit off their past fame. If that wasn't their current situation. Because if it's currently like that, I'm motivated to do it.
Yeah.
But if you living off your past fame, I was there for the history. It was great. I hope it worked out for you. But I don't think that, I mean, in that situation, I don't like scenes. I'm drama free.
Right.
And that was full of drama.
And that's a lesson that I'll just go ahead and pay for.
Right.
And I can't mess with y'all no more.
Yeah, I don't like scenes either.
Yeah.
And I mean, my wife in that situation, she could still have her friends. They could still be her friends, and they can go out and do that all they want to. Never, ever will you go out with me again. We can't go out of the country. We can't go to Applebee's. We can't go to Portillo's
What's with you and
together.
Applebee's?
You know, Applebee's is like this place that it's a nice value added restaurant that has a great selection, and they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. Hell, one of my, I think my first date with my boyfriend happened to be at Applebee's when I got back in from the country. We just was like, well, let's meet up right now.
Right, I mean, they got one on 95th. They got one on 115th. You know, and Applebee's
Okay,
ain't
this
bad.
is this a plug for Applebee's?
Right? You're like, we need a little.
Cinnamobile. No, but I mean, we at this age, we are just too old for those types of games. And like I said, if any time that I sit down, even to this day, I am fully prepared to pay for everyone. I hope that I don't have to, but if it gets like that, and if there is any type of dissension, I got it. Don't worry about it. And those people are cut off. You know, I'm not mad at them. I'm not going to say anything about them. I'm not going to post about them on social media. We
That's
just,
a whole nother episode.
Yes, it is.
But we're done. You know, man, I'm cool. Are we going out? No, I'm good, man.
I'm gonna take the L on that one.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So I guess we all agree that. I mean, I think he was done wrong, but you know, I didn't like. I'm with you. I didn't like how they talked to him
Yeah.
either. And if I were his wife, I would have defended them and been like, "Slow down, homie. This is my man. He doesn't have. He's not responsible for all of you."
She did defend him.
I know, but she had to be asked because
I don't think she was at the table. I looked at her.
Oh,
a
she
couple
was
times.
absolutely there.
Yeah, and she kind of checked him a
She
little
was there.
bit.
She was there
like,
because somebody.
she told one of them, when you get a husband.
Because one of the women called her out and told her, "Hey, here, this is your husband. This is your man. He's supposed to pay." And she was like, "No,
right.
when you get a husband."
Right.
She was like, he's not responsible for all of you all.
Yeah, she was
and
there.
when you get a husband, right? She did what she was supposed to do. Yeah. But I wouldn't have had anybody talking to my man like, you know, you the man.
Right. I wouldn't have had to be called out.
Like,
I
he's not a
definitely
man.
defended him.
Yeah.
Right.
But
For
and
sure.
I don't think that any of those people, again, I don't think it was their first time pulling a stunt like that.
No, they seem seasoned.
Yeah. You know,
Well versed.
right. Definitely in the 401k. You know, they definitely had been there and done that before.
Girl had her walkout game. I'm leaving. I'm gone. I ain't paying nothing.
She's gonna make him pay that bill.
And you know, as I get older, I try to think more about the person whose birthday it was. You know, that's a heck of a thing to do because you're really
No, they said that he said I got yours.
Was
No,
she
no, no,
in
no,
on
no,
it
no.
too? Was she talking?
She was
I couldn't
just kinda
tell who the
sitting
birthday
there. She was
girl
just kinda
really was.
sitting there.
Yeah.
But my thing is that you ruin that person's birthday.
With
If
the
that-
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a cool thing to do to a friend.
Yeah.
You know, I want your day to be pleasant. I certainly don't want to be the reason. And for that reason and others, that's why if I were him, I probably would have paid for everyone and been like, you know what, we good.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
That's it.
I'm trying not
We
to
want to
get
know
in
what you
trouble
all
this week.
think. I want to know, like, have you all had any instances where this, like, has happened to you all? I mean, like, does somebody make you pay for a check or try and check you because you weren't going to pay for the check? Is that a thing for real?
We've all been in situations. We've been out dining with friends, and somebody is eating way more or drinking way more than
Their pockets
other
are going to
people.
allow.
Or just other people. So not necessarily that they don't have it, but who? How do you guys do that? Do you divide up the check equally, or do you?
Especially if you aren't drinking like us.
Do you tally the total and say, oh, you had one piece of toast and you had three? How do you guys do that? Let us know.
And that's so infuriating.
I had 2 pancakes. You had 3, right?
Right, or I don't think I should have to pay no gratuity.
Let us know. Let us know. Continue the conversation in the comments. Let's talk about it. And don't forget, on the 20th, we want to see you face to face in Chicago.
I will never go out with a non-tipper again. Like, for real. Like a friend, a girlfriend, a cousin, anybody. If you don't want to tip, that's terrible. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
That's a whole nother subject.
it is a whole nother subject. Yeah.
All right.
Cheap
Have a
people.
great evening, everybody. See you soon.
Love you guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Back.
Can I touch your hand? Oh, a little X on the end.